Okay, so first off, we just hit 1,000 subscribers, which blows my mind. We have come such a long way since that very first video in American's flagship first cabin on the 777. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who's shown up and taken time on your busy days to watch some Flaps 10 content. It truly does mean the world to me, and I'm really looking forward to continuing to interact with you guys and learn from you guys. Just a tremendous community of pilots, frequent flyers, flight attendants, and good old aviation enthusiasts out there. Now, as you can tell, we are still very far from having a legit operation here. We just got an iPhone set up on a tripod, and we got a shadow from this overhead fan. No special lighting, no special effects. What you see is what you get on this channel, and I'm hoping to keep it that way for the foreseeable future. Maybe one day we'll upgrade to having some sort of green screen or something fancy behind me. For the time being, we got this new Flaps 10 vest that my mom so generously gifted me. So that's the only official branding we have. But in the meantime, let's just talk about this channel, where I came from, how it started, and where we're going in the future. Yeah, well, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, but I live in Charlotte now. I was born in Cleveland.
Right. You watch basketball?
I do. Yeah. Now I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I started this channel a couple years ago, I didn't really have an end goal in mind. I didn't have like a why, which is somewhat problematic, but I just started it anyways. All I really knew at the time was that airports and airplanes made me happy. My parents always told me to do what made me happy. So I bought a GoPro, strapped it to my chest, and flew to Brazil for a weekend. Now, it turns out when you have a GoPro strapped to your chest, it's very difficult to fly under the radar.
So you're a blogger, right?
A very amateur one, yeah. So I was forced a bit outside my comfort zone in those initial days. Walking around with a camera and a microphone and trying to narrate in public and everything, and just having people stare at you all weird and stuff. But you definitely get used to it, and it also gave me a lot of respect and appreciation for the work that the Sam Trees of the world, the Noel Phillips, the Jeb Brooks, who are out there hustling with their cameras and their mics, recording every second of their journey, whether they're living large in Singapore Airlines first class or crammed in the back in economy. And absolutely no doubt, I certainly took inspiration from those guys when I started this channel back in 2021. But I've always envisioned Flaps 10 just being a little bit more all-encompassing, because aviation is way more than Emirates first class, and aviation is way more than signing up for a credit card just so you can use Avianca Life Miles to fly Lufthansa first class to Frankfurt. Now, don't get me wrong, I absolutely encourage you to do those things because they're a great way to access premium products at a reasonable cost. But for me, aviation is about the people who make it happen. The people you see and don't see, who try their hardest to make sure you get where you need to be safely and on time. I'm talking about the ramp workers, the fuelers, the baggage handlers, the caterers, air traffic control, the operations people. Heck, even the chefs at the American Express Lounge, who saved you from effectively starving on your 5-hour Spirit Airlines flight. So it takes an army of people to facilitate even just one flight, and to me it's an absolute miracle the system doesn't break. So my goal, in addition to showing you what it's like to fly on various airlines across the world, is to dig a layer deeper. When I'm stepping on board planes, when I'm walking around in airports.
Oh yeah, that's what we're after.
And just trying to be a little bit more curious than the average person would be, just poking around and sort of answering some of the questions, looking out the window, talking to the flight attendants, hearing about their careers, their favorite destinations, some of their favorite planes, talking to the pilots, hearing about the weather conditions, the route of the flight. Some of these little tidbits that are really interesting to me, and I hope are interesting to you as well. For every 1 or 2 people that you interact with in the airport, your check-in agents, your gate agents, your flight attendants, there are probably 5 or 6 more that you don't see. They're just as important in getting you from point A to point B safely, on time, you and your bags, your children, your loved ones. Now, why am I saying this? Because essentially, once I gained an appreciation for what goes on behind the scenes, it totally changed my entire mindset and approach to flying. Instead of showing up to the airport and expecting everything to go off without a hitch, which if you fly with any sort of regularity, is absolutely impossible. And instead of blowing a fuse, I take a deep breath and I try my best to give people the benefit of the doubt. Now, it's not always easy, especially when you have to be somewhere or you have a tight connection And even a 15-minute delay is going to cause you to miss that and not get to a wedding or a graduation or something that you need to be on time. Obviously, sometimes it is the airline's fault, and the airline absolutely has a responsibility. You know, you're paying an arm and a leg for a ticket, regardless of where you're flying. Flying is not cheap these days, even on Frontier and Spirit. So you should have high expectations. But at the same time, you know, these people are doing the best they can to get you from point A to point B, and they're also dealing with people that are very frustrated with short fuses. You know, if you're nice to them, there's a much better chance they're going to be nice to you back.
Go ahead.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. Exit forwarding enable.
Yes, I am.
Rock.
So that's my quick spiel on the people of commercial aviation, who I'd like to continue to spotlight on this channel, in addition to covering some awesome airplanes, airlines, products, and routes all around the world. Now, of course, I'd also like to ask you guys, what is it that intrigues you most about this channel? Whatever that is, I'd love to just at least take it into consideration as I'm sort of brainstorming and whiteboarding the future of this channel. But anyways, I did want to keep this thing short, so thanks again for your incredible support along my journey so far. I wish you the safest of travels, and I'll see you in the next one.